Okay, just a quick video to share with you because Nutrisystems, again, we said we liked it over this 18 area and then liked it more if it got through 1806. We also said that Thursday wouldn't be a great day to trade. As a matter of fact, didn't even run the chat room today. I told everybody I'm not going to make any calls because the market is just a little too low volume and not a lot of follow through this week. So we'll pick it back up on Monday. I did log in and open up the chat room for the members because they asked me to, so they can still trade together. But no calls were made today. That said, I sat by the pool and decided to see if, in the first hour I might find some personal trades. And Nutrisystem, actually, as it looks like, hey, it triggered and failed, and you might be at home thinking, hey, Mike got killed in this. I'm going to show you exactly what I did with it today. Because I did take an early trade in it and and did okay. Nutrisystem, remember we had a couple catalysts that I was looking at. One was a break of yesterday's high. Okay, that was for 1796, and the other one I said through 1806. In other words, 1807 could get follow through and maybe break out above this 1840. So you had stacked catalysts, as we like to say. Now, remembering that, let me go to the 5-minute candles today. This is the opening candle. It hit that 1796 in the first 5 minutes. Generally, I won't take a trade if it triggers in the first 5 minutes. So I just left it alone, but it put in a nice 5-minute high of 1799 and an early low of 1779. So a 20-cent range. I was comfortable taking it if it broke its 5-minute high after that. So as it hit 18, I started grabbing some and then sold into this pop. Ended up having a nice trade. Now, I can use my Lightspeed chart. I don't like their charts at all, but let me bring it in here. Because it does have a feature where you can have it mark your buys and sells. And so that's what these little green dots are where I started buying right as it broke its 5-minute high. So it started buying right at 18, and my last fill was actually as it broke through 18. And then sold some immediately because I always like to put some money in my pocket. As it looked like it was coming back to break even, sold a little bit more. I always sell in parts, as you can see, because each one of these is a buy and is a trade itself. And then as it popped up into the 1820s, anytime I can make that kind of money in about 30 minutes, I start selling. Okay, and I sold most of it, kept about 1/8 of a position right here. That got stopped out right here. As it started to come back down, I wanted to protect and make sure I got a profit on every chunk after that. I wasn't going to let it come down and cost me, take out the low of the day and end up having a losing portion of that trade. So let me bring this down in here to show you. This was my trade on Nutrisystem NTRI, $490.85 in the first 30 minutes. So it ended up being a nice trade, and I thought I better make this video because I didn't want a lot of people, well, let me get that chart out of the way and go back to e-signal. Didn't want a lot of people looking at this and saying, oh, he said over 18, that's a good buy, and then it did this. Well, we always protect. Once we have a profit, we start putting money in our pocket, and as you saw, I put the trailing stop in, so as it rolled over, the whole trade was nicely green. And that's a great example, even though I wasn't in the chat room today, it's a great example of how we teach people to trade, okay? You pay yourself when you get some profit, you scale out the higher it goes, and you protect your profits after that. So, that's a perfect example of how our chat room handles stuff like that. So Nutrisystem ended up being a nice little profit for me this morning, even though it rolled over. So it's no longer on my radar for a while because it certainly didn't hold the breakout. And again, today wasn't probably the best day to trade. Let's show you another example. One other trade I took this morning, it was GSP style trade. And again, I wish I had the ability to zoom in on these charts, but took Urban Outfitters. These are 5-minute candles from today, and it was just selling off hard. Tried to catch the bottom here, a method that we teach in our room. Okay, bought it here, sold some on the quick pop, and then got stopped out for a small loss on the back half. So this was just basically a flat trade. Okay, and then as it met another one of our parameters, I bought it again right here, sold some here, sold some more in here, did smaller parts on that. So another profitable trade, and another good example of the type of trades we take. And late this afternoon, I messed with Dan, kind of bottom feeding too. Dana Holdings, auto parts supplier, another kind of bottom feeding call that we teach. grabbed it right here and then just started scaling out into that pop. So really was never in danger of even losing a penny on it. So a lot of good strategies paid off. And hopefully from this video you can understand that it's all about low risk, putting money in your pocket, getting to a break even as quick as you can. And we'll be back up and running in the chat room on Monday morning. So have a great holiday weekend, and like I said, we'll send out another pick next week. But we do like to follow up with videos to show you that what we do, even though we send out free picks and we follow up, show you what we did with it the next day. I still think it's important to show you our thinking, kind of how it goes on an intraday basis, okay? Because no matter how much I like a daily chart, it's still all about the intraday setups and finding low risk opportunities. All right, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.